Hey y'all, in this video lesson, we'll be talking about measuring angle rotation. I've got an angle in standard position here, and I just kind of want to orient you to the terminology. The initial side is on the x-axis, and the terminal side is basically what's forming the angle. So this here would be the angle that we're measuring. And the terminal side, the rotation goes in a counterclockwise, so opposite of a clock direction. That means if we rotate the other way, clockwise, that we end up with a negative angle measure. So let's look at a couple examples. We want to sketch the following angles, and we're just sketching. We don't have to measure. We're just getting close enough, basically. In the first example, we have 45 degrees. So just to orient you here, give you a frame of reference, we consider the x-axis over here 0 degrees. And then we know that a right angle up here is 90 degrees. And this would be 90 more. And this would be 90 more. And then 0 is also considered 360. So that just kind of gives you an idea as to where those angles are based on the X and Y axis. So 45 degrees would be exactly halfway between 0 and 90. So we would do the initial side here and then the terminal side there. It's close enough. And then this would be 45 degrees. And we consider this the terminal side. So then the next one, negative 45. So in positive 45, I went counterclockwise. I went up. So for negative 45, we would go clockwise, which means down 45 degrees. So now this looks like initial side and then terminal side. Like that. And this is negative, messed that up, 45 degrees. So hopefully that kind of gets you introduced to that. I've already kind of showed you 90, but go ahead and try 90 and 225. Pause it, try it, come back and check your work. 90 degrees is going to be pretty simple. It just forms that right angle, that L. And from the initial side on the x-axis, the positive side of the x-axis, sorry, and then that angle opens up to an L, 90 degrees. So that one's pretty simple. 225, you might have had to think just a little bit more. I went ahead and labeled, the 0, 90, 180, 270, just to kind of give me an idea as to where that was. I knew it was going to be over here between 180 and 270. And so 225 minus 180 is 45. So basically from here, there's a 45, there. I want to show you I'm going to tell you a little quick trick. If it ends in 5, it's going to be at a 45-degree angle in whatever quadrant that it's supposed to be. So that'll kind of help you narrow it down a little bit. So that's what that looks like. And a little thing down here, a quadrantal angle is one whose terminal side lies on the axis. So those angles that I measured to kind of give me a reference point were 0, 90, 180, and 270. All of those are quadrantal angles. They fall on an axis. So that's just kind of a terminology thing for you. Coterminal angles. We're going to draw an angle of 60 degrees and an angle of 420 degrees on the same plane. I want you to pause it, try it, come back and check your work. So at this point, I've just drawn the 60-degree angle. Now, if I were to do a 420-degree angle, that would be starting here, initial side. I would have to go around 360. And then how many more? 60 more. So basically, I end up with the same terminal side. So I'm going to do this in pink over it and show, I'm going to go out here so you can see it. 420 degrees. Looks kind of funny, but just for notes purposes, just to show you. So these have the same terminal. I spelled that wrong. Terminal. Oh my goodness. Side. That looks really funny, but it says terminal. Same terminal side. And if we subtracted those two angles, 420 minus 60, we get 360 degrees. So basically the definition of a coterminal angle, they are angles that share the same terminal side. So that means that we could plus or minus 360 degrees to figure out the larger angle with that, or smaller with that same terminal side. Coterminal means same terminal. There are infinitely many angles that are coterminal with a given angle. So any multiple of 360 is going to result in this coterminal angle. So we could do 360 times 2, we could do 360 times 3, we could keep multiplying and continue getting more and more and more coterminal angles. Name a positive and negative angle that are coterminal with 120. Pause it, try it, come back. For mine, I just did 360. So 120 plus 360 will give you the positive, and then 120 minus 360 will give you the negative. If you had chosen, you could have done something else. You could have done 2 times 360 instead, because that's a multiple of 360. And you would get 2 more different coterminal angles. So there's infinitely many there for that. So that is all I have for this lesson. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, please let me know, and I'd be happy to help. I'll see you in the next one.